Have you ever seen a professor at a school like Penn State talk to an entire class about what happened on October 7th? This is live footage, recorded obviously, of just that. I would encourage you to watch this whole video because we have to talk about it right after.
Dude, they slaughtered people. I just said killed. They killed. They slaughtered, man. They fucking slaughtered. Knives and guns and the stories, and they posted videos. And they slaughter, man. Like, I can't watch some of the video. I can't watch it. Just, whoa. They violently raped so many women. And then after they finished raping them, they killed them. And they killed them slowly, and they killed them fast. They burned people alive. They did things, they committed atrocities that are just like, you can't even imagine, okay? Now, a lot of people don't get a sense of this because they don't watch the video and they don't pay attention. So I know there will be some people in this room or maybe people watching who are like, we don't really know that happened. No, listen. No, we do know that it happened. It's pretty clear that it happened. So it was 21 days before Israel invaded Gaza. Okay, 21 days. And then we started seeing this pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel movement happen around the world. And this is when at Penn State, Feminists against genocide, free Palestine. It's like, dude, what? Wait, what? Do you know how many Israeli women were violently raped by these Palestinian fighters? Like, what kind of feminist are you? Like, holy, what? So, if I'm Jewish, so I'm thinking like, okay, this is what the world's doing. I didn't see lots of people standing up for Jewish people. What I saw was this. On college campuses all across the U.S., I saw it in Paris. Right away in Paris, all the pro-Palestinian people were coming out into the streets. And I'm like, dude, there was a slaughter just happened. Can you just take 30 seconds to just light a candle for the Jewish victims? But they don't. So if I'm Jewish, I'm like, man, I'm feeling this. And so if I'm this guy, I'm feeling like, so this is what the world thinks about us. This is it. And I think, well, yeah, actually. So, goes back 2,000 years. People hating Jews. Last week, I had a conversation with an Israeli soldier who was in Gaza 2 months ago. It's this guy in the world. Really nice guy. I really like this guy. And he was in Gaza because the other members of his unit were called to go into Gaza. They didn't have a choice. They're called. And he said, like, okay, I'm going to go in with you. Israelis and Jews, I can say Israelis because 25% are Arabs, but Jewish Israelis and Jews around the world. Can you like feel the fear that Jews would have? You can't, people, after that slaughter, people can't even take 2 days to mourn. Can you even imagine? Can you imagine 1,300, 1,200, we'll say 1,200, that Mexicans, a band of Mexicans, came over from Mexico and they killed not 1,200, how about 120 Americans? Hell, not even 120, 12 Americans. They slaughtered 12 Americans and they raped American women and killed them and then took Americans hostage back into Mexico. The Americans would be demanding that we drop nuclear bombs on Mexico. 12. Now go to 120. Now go to 1,200. And then the rest of the world turns to the Americans. A day later, 2 days later and say, yeah, no, not the rest of the world. Protests break out on college campuses in Canada and in Spain and in Venezuela and in Colombia and in Korea and China. All the signs supporting Mexico. It's like, can you imagine how you would feel like, yeah, the world's against us?
I was watching, side note, just some of those college students who care more about their phones and being on their phone when they're, it's really sad. Like I graduated college in 2018, and it's not that we didn't have students, or myself sometimes didn't go on our phones during class, but today, nobody is being incentivized to be glued to the professor, to the person, even if you don't agree with them. Like, we're supposed to be paying attention and being challenged by thought-provoking discussions in universities, especially one so polarizing, especially one who is just spitting facts. Everything that he said is exactly what happened. It's not debatable. The difficult part with this is that a lot of those students in that room are listening to this conversation, but they're either A, in denial to begin with, or B, many of them have chosen not to look at that footage he's talking about, which is the body cam footage of Hamas, which are the testimonies of women coming out of Gaza, which are the stories of the hostages being returned, which are the stories of the people being slaughtered, which are the stories of grandmothers being filmed on Facebook while their family members are watching it from somewhere else in Israel while they're being killed. This is all real. It's all real. You don't just come up with a fake plan and a fake story in less than 24 hours in the span of 4.5, 5 hours on a Saturday morning and then figure out a way to get this fake story out to the whole world. It's not that we can get 9 million people in Israel to be on the same side here with the same story in less than a day. You don't just, especially when 2 million of them are Arab and the other part mostly are Jewish, there's too many opinions in the room. 2 Jews, 3 opinions. So please don't tell me that the people who were slaughtered, the people that are on camera being slaughtered, the people that were in Gaza as hostages, that have come back, that are still alive, that have words coming out of their mouth and stories to share and real experiences that they saw, that they smelled, that they tasted, that they experienced. Please don't tell me it's propaganda. Please don't tell me it's fake news. No. That is real shit. What he's saying on stage is real. All of it is real. I find it so interesting that the world thinks that in less than a day on a Saturday morning, 9 million people in Israel and all of its allies across the world figured out a way to plan up on this propaganda plan. And 3 weeks in, you had signs for pro-Palestinian protesters saying, "Feminists for Palestine." It's fascinating. It's so fascinating to me that it begs the question, was anything against Israel coordinated? Because in New York City, on the 7th in the evening, you had people marching in the streets of New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, you had people marching in New York City on October 7th, not even 24 hours after the 7th happened. You cannot convince me that there was no awareness prior to this whole thing happening, that these were not coordinated. You can't tell me that it's a coincidence that all of the tents at all of these encampments happen to be the same tent, the same brand, the same size, and the same color, that they weren't planned and bought and purchased. Oh, that these encampment protesters at Columbia and Penn State went down to Dick's Sporting Goods or went down to Modell's or went down to whatever store to grab themselves. No. It's planned. It's coordinated. The side that has to invest in these plans and coordinations, and the side that has to invest in bots to incite more violence on social media against Jewish people and Jewish communities to make sure that there's one negative comment for every positive one. You can't tell me that that's the side that represents good, and you cannot tell me that that's the side that represents truth. You cannot convince me of that, because it's not true. And how do I know that? Because I know the truth, and I stand on the side of truth, and I deploy everything that any normal person in the world who wants to represent true integrity and true truth would do. I don't know what else there is to say. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you next video. If you want to continue the conversation, you can support my work for free. Discord does not cost a thing. It is the best way to connect with me and others who are seeking the truth. The link is in the description. But if you want to further, my Patreon gives you access to the Israel you don't see, uncovering the untold stories of what mainstream media does not show you. The link is in the description, and it helps me to continue this work. Or if you're just looking to help this thing go, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee is a really easy way to support me. This channel, this work does not happen without all of you. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you next time.